Alright, so in this video I'm going to convert between an exponential function model and the familiar half-life function. And the reason I do this is because I like to use the exponential function more than I like to use the half-life function. And then I also like to use the decay or compounded continuously function. We'll get to that one in another section and use that more extensively. But in both of these cases, if I were to create a function and graph it, it would show a decay. A half-life is a decay, and certainly an exponential function in decay is also a decay. So I'd like to use this function because I can use it for everything. I don't like to use this function so much because this is specific to a radioactivity element that has a prescribed half-life. And if I don't know that, well, then that gives me difficulty. So I want to be able to convert between the two. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So if we look at both sides of the equation, and I'm going to write, I've got an A, and over here I've got a C, and both of those mean the same thing. And then I've got a B, and then over here I have a 1/2 to the x over k, and this one is to the x. And I want these things to be equal to each other. Okay, so the A is the starting amount, the C is the starting amount. So I don't really need to concern myself with that. What I need to concern myself with is this b to the x somehow equaling 1/2 x over k. All right. So let me show you how we are going to convert this. So we are going to take this 1/2 and the exponent x over k. In fact, let me just work over here a minute with x over k. So I have x over k, and that's the same thing as x over 1 times 1 over x. Oh, x for 1, 1 over k. Yep, because when you multiply them together, x times 1 gives me x, 1 times k gives me k. So I can rewrite the right-hand side of this to be x over 1 times 1 over k. And I'm going to just switch the order like that. Same thing. They're both multiplied. Okay. And now in the next step, you recall that if you have a power to a power, let's just come over here to the side a minute. So if I have x squared raised to the third power, well, what you do is you multiply those two powers together. So here, think of this as two powers multiplied together. So what I could do is I could say this is the 1/2, right, to the 1 over k. There we go. But then I want to raise all of that to the x over 1 power. So then this piece right here, this becomes my b. Okay, because I can think of this x as x over 1. So all of that becomes my b. So now let's write it right here in the middle. So the b is 1/2 to the 1 over k. All right. So if I know the half-life, I can simply take 1/2 to the 1 over k, and now I've got a b that I can use in this equation. And that's how I'm going to convert from one equation, the half-life equation, to the exponential equation.